My name is B. Smith. Hello. And I am one of your PeriGirl leaders. And I am here to discuss part 1 of The Alchemist. Girl, we all girlfriends up in here. Girl, you just walked in. We got some foot trolls. Not patrol, but we got some foot trolls, girl. They wanted to see some feet. Welcome from New Zealand. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining in PeriGirls Book Club. We are here to discuss The Alchemist. So that's what you just walked in on, okay? So thank you guys for joining in. So hopefully you guys got part 1 read. And I wanted to talk about what I gleaned from part 1. Yeah, that's why everybody was laughing, girl. It was crazy. In PeriGirl fashion, it was a party. Hello from Russia. Thank you for joining our discussion. Yes. So, what I gained from part 1 is, what is your personal legend? What is that thing? In part 1, Santiago, he was in search of treasure. When the book starts, he is a shepherd, and he's good at a shepherd. He was supposed to be a priest, but he went to his father, and he decided that he didn't want to be a priest. He wanted to travel the world. And so his dad told him, nobody travels in our country. Thank you. Nobody travels in our country. The only people that travel are the shepherds. So Santiago was like, bump that. I want to be a shepherd. I want to see the world. I want to see other countries. And so as he goes through his journey, he gets to see the world, and he gets to have his little sheep with him all the time. And he begins to have these dreams. And so when he has these dreams, it's a dream that leads him to treasure. What time is it here? It is 3:00 Pacific. Yeah, we're going to take care of that. Yes. So if you read part 1, they talk about finding your personal treasure. So I want to go back, and I want to do like we did last week, and I want to read some of the quotes that were profound to me. Please feel free to share and discuss anything that you found. So one of the things that I found interesting in part 1 is they say, when someone sees the same people every day, as had happened with him at the seminary, they wind up becoming a part of a person's life. And when they want the person to change, and then they want the person to change. If someone isn't what others want them to be, the others become angry. Everyone seems to have a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. So you see, and don't you see that in your life, how you always have those friends or people around you that their life is a hot mess, but they always seem to have some inclination to tell you how to live your life? I love this book because it was written so long ago, but if we really look inward, are we like that sometimes? We can look at other people and we can see so clearly what their future is. I can look at some of my friends and I can see the success and I can see the potential. I can look at my children and I can see the potential in them. I can see everything that they could do. But for some reason, when it comes to me, something happens. I don't know if it's lack of confidence or a lack of trust. We just don't trust that the universe will take care of us. Whatever the case may be, we can always see the road so clear for others, but yet it is difficult for us to determine the road for us. I believe, as the author states, that when we're children, we dream. There's no limits. Everything in part 1, they discuss that when we're children, that you agree? Okay, good. When we're children, we dream. We're limitless. Welcome, Turkey. There's nothing to stop us. I remember jumping off the house when I was a kid. I remember childlike mindset. I like that. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Ebony. I am Ebony. Swipe up and share with your followers, and we can fill this room up. But as I was reading it, tears began to come to my eyes because one of the things that I do now is I'm a teacher. And when I was a small child, I believed Coehlo because when I was a child, I always said I wanted to be a teacher. But for some reason, when I grew up, I got out of that. People looked at me and told me what they thought I should be. And I was like, okay, I'm good with numbers. Okay, well, I'll be an accountant. So you're a teacher? And I'm telling you, now that I'm a teacher, I'm so much more fulfilled in my life than I ever was when I was in corporate America. I don't make near as much money, but dang it, I love my job. And I just wonder sometimes, hold up. The more I learn about myself, I feel my personal legend is to be a spiritual teacher. And so are you like Santiago? Do you feel that on the inside? Do you feel that on the inside? Does anybody remember in part 1 where he got robbed and he didn't have a cent to his name and he almost felt like giving up? But it was something on the inside that let him know that you don't give up. You keep going. It's like a burning passion. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have another one I want to read. Let me see. So there's one that talks about to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That's when you keep pushing when life looks grim. Hope is just around the bend. I like that, Ebony. You love that one too? Yes. We're talking about the Alchemist and Santiago. I love that because Ebony, he didn't have a dime left. He had been tricked. All he had was the 2 rocks that were given to him by the king of Salem, by Melchizedek. And he didn't have anything left, but it was the situation that he was in. I love it that he went and found him a job. And I love the part where he finds a job cleaning the glass. He asked the owner, could he clean the glass? And the owner never said anything about him cleaning the glass, right, Julie? But he went and took the initiative and he started cleaning up that glass. He started cleaning that glass. And when he started cleaning that glass, people start coming in and they start buying the product. Now that part stuck with me because a lot of times we're waiting on other people to tell us to move. We're waiting on other people to tell us what we need to do. But when you got chills during that part, oh my God. Yes, I was like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. And when Santiago took charge and he started cleaning that glass and people started coming in, he got that owner's attention. So in our destiny and what we're doing, the way we're going to get attention is by action. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission because we don't need permission for our destiny. It's waiting on us. The treasure that Santiago seeks, we won't discuss that part yet. The law of action. Boop, boop, boop. You know, people always talk about the law of attraction, but today I think part 1 talks about the law of action. And another one of our PeriGirls, she talked about the grass is always greener where you water it. And to water grass requires action. Okay, Amelia says, we don't need validation to move forward on our soul's initiatives. Boop! You better say that, doctor. Say that, Dr. Sam. We need no one's permission to move forward. So what, you don't own the store? Do y'all understand? He did not own that store. He didn't have a dime to his name. He asked the man. He said, let me go handle this. I see what needs to be done. I see how I can make your business better. So let me go in here and do that thing. Sometimes we just got to get in there and we got to do that thing. Kudos, look. Go on, Dr. Sam. So I guess we have ourselves a new phrase here. So our phrase for the week is, how do we get to our personal legend? How do we discover our personal legend? The law of action. It all comes by doing. Nothing's going to just come to us. When we want something, and that's our quote, when we want something, the universe conspires to help us. There are so many things that are coming to help us. Yes, law of action. Do you guys recall the section before he got robbed? There was a section where the bartender was speaking another language and he was angry and he was a little agitated. And Santiago kind of got away from him because he wasn't behaving as cool and as calm as his little friend that was trying to help him get to Egypt. What was happening is sometimes we have people in our lives. They may not make us feel warm and fuzzy. They may not act the way that we want them to act, but sometimes they're acting towards our good, and they are attempting to protect us from those things that may hurt us. So the owner of the bar was actually trying to help Santiago. So have you ever pushed someone away that was trying to help you? I.e. parents. I remember my mother would always try to tell me things, and sometimes she would yell, sometimes she would be a little angry, and she'd be like, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm doing this for your own good. And it was like she was speaking another language. I didn't hear her. I knew better. He said, well, now, I'm telling you, that bartender scene was something else, because he was trying to get his behind away from that owner. He was trying to get out of there, and that owner was trying to protect him from what was going to happen to him. And so he learned a lesson from that incident to, yes, hearing is not always the same as listening. Okay, I like that. I like that, DJ. So when we talk about that, how about he had these sheep and they followed him and they didn't speak the same language? They didn't speak the same language. He led them to food. He led them to water. They went from place to place and they didn't speak the same. They didn't. I love it. I got something else. So this is something else that I gleaned from this part. Don't go through an experience without an experience. So Santiago, she said, bring it. Santiago was going through an experience, but I always say to myself, if I'm going to go through this, if I'm going to be in the thick of this, if I'm going to go through this, I want to make sure that I feel everything, because I don't want to take this road again. And so when we run across those people that seem like they want to do us good, that seem like they're our friends, that seem nice, we'll learn to discern those people. There was a part in chapter 1 that totally talked about discernment, learning, applying, and teaching. Santiago still had them rocks in his pocket. He didn't have a dime. He could have gave up. He was at the end of his rope, but he found something. He found a way to keep his journey going. I am so excited for part 2. I am so excited because when we get to the end of this part, he's working for the glass guy. He's trying to get enough money to go back home. Discernment is huge, world changing in the game of life. And so I'm going to talk about this like I've never read this book. He's got a choice. He's at a crossroads right now because his boss is like, well, you know what? You can make enough money to go back home. I'm like this. I don't want to go back home. If I'm on my journey to my personal legend, I'm not giving up. I don't need enough money to go home. I'm going for my treasure. Okay, baby girl says, people miss out on so much of an experience because they're worried about something else or hurried. Yes, yes, yes. So remember when in the fable, in the story where he has that spoon of oil and he rushes through just so he could protect the oil in the spoon, and he misses everything in the house. He doesn't experience anything. And so the guy sends him back and he says, hey, I know you protected my oil, but I want you to make sure you don't know me if you don't know my house. And I think when he's talking about the house, he's talking about the heart. When we get to know people, we need to be more than surface relationships. In the story, they were talking about a house, him looking at the gardens, right, Lisa? Them looking at all the fixtures and the beautiful tapestry. But there was something interesting at the end of that story, right? Breathe deeper. He got so distracted, he lost all the oil. And so he told him, he said, hey, it's okay to have an experience, but don't forget what you're responsible for. Don't forget what you've been entrusted with. And guys, we've been entrusted with our personal legends. We've been entrusted with these gifts that have been given to us by our Creator. And we've got to hold that oil and we've got to be careful. But as we're going through this experience, we've got to experience. We've got to feel it. We've got to breathe it. Come on, girl. Y'all say it. I thank you guys for helping me. This has been giving me chills again. I just kept crying because I was like, oh my God, don't go through an experience. Hold that oil. Know what you're responsible for. Do you understand how many people are waiting on us to get to our treasure? Do you understand the treasure is not just for us? Do you understand how he ministered to the owner of the glass store? Because the glass store, he was like, I've been doing this for 30 years. This is all it is. Santiago came in there in the midst of his trials, and he dusted himself off, and he humbled himself, and he went to work, and he showed that owner that he could revive his store. He could revive his business. No, that wasn't all it was. And when Santiago came in there, he saw he had a good thing. How many times have we had a good thing in our life and we let them go? When somebody comes in your life and it's good and you see good fruit, and he did it with humble humility. Oh, come on, girl. If it wasn't space, we wouldn't be here. And so there's so many messages in finding our personal legend. I like the words that you guys are using. I believe that we have to stay careful, protect, right? Yes, we have to protect our oil, right? And we have to stay humble, willing to do anything, humble ourselves, even in the face of mistakes, and keep moving forward. Protect our oil. Don't go through an experience without an experience. So why you gonna keep on getting jacked? Now we ain't got to part 2, but I bet you ain't nobody else gonna jack Santiago, because he's gonna learn how to discern when he's in a situation, and he's gonna make, yes, especially in the face of mistakes. Guys, I share this with people all the time. My first PhD class, I made an F. I went into Coehlo University and I made an F. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm going to have an F on my transcript. I'm like, I should just quit. I should just stop. I'm not going to be a doctor. But I'm telling you, in the face of that, I dusted myself off. I took a quarter off. I got my mind right. I enrolled back into my class, that same class. I took that class over again, and I kept a 4 point for 4 quarters. It's not in my purpose. It's my destiny. It's those people that I teach, that oil that I hold. It's those students that I impact 2 to 3 times a week. And should I quit? I can't impact any other lives. I can't inspire anyone. I can't do what was done for me. I can't encourage someone the way that someone encouraged me. So when we want something, the universe conspires. It conspires to help us. Like, no matter how many ways we jack it up, if we just keep moving and we just keep trying and we stay humble and we protect our oil, we protect that dream. We protect that dream. He's got a dream of treasure, guys. And he's got to do whatever he can do to protect that dream. And he's got to do it with all his heart. Even if that means he got to clean that man's dirty glass. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to work in McDonald's. Sometimes you got to work 3 jobs. Whatever it is that you have to do to humble yourself and complete your journey, you must do it. You got to be discernment of those people when we're experiencing these things. Stop getting gypped. Stop getting jacked. Stop putting yourself into bad relationships. When you keep seeing things happen to you, you must learn from that. I got 4 more minutes, and I just want to make sure that I'm profound with this. Don't go through an experience without an experience. For those of you in a relationship, oh my gosh. You said that's what's wrong with you? It's what's wrong with all of us, and we're here to help each other. Stop it. We got to stop it. That's what we got to stop. We got to stop going through the same things over and over again, but we can't stop protecting our oil. Yeah, stop letting people steal your personal legend. Stop letting them, because it's yours. It says personal legend. That means it's mine. That means you can't take it. So you made a product and somebody mimicked your product. Oh, well, often imitated, but never duplicated, because it's your personal legend. It's your journey. It's no one else's. Everything else is just an experience. And I love part 1. Can't nobody, what's that song? Can't nobody do it like me. What? Can't nobody do it like you. Can't nobody do it like you. They may imitate you, but they can't be you. And you are good enough. I think a lot. Yes, Jen. often imitated, but never duplicated. They can never be you because there's only one you. There's only one Santiago. He was compared to a baker. Remember how he was compared to a baker? Has anyone ever compared you to someone else? Has anyone ever told you you don't look like somebody else? Guess what? You don't look like nobody else because you look like you. You are you. Guys, I'm excited about part 2. So for next week, we're going to read part 2. We're going to finish this journey up because we need to see what happens to Santiago. And if any of you have any quotes that you want to share, please share with me because this part is so profound. I'm glad that we stopped at part 1 because he is at a crossroads right now. Thank you, Planner Love. Yes, we're all friends. PeriGirls. PeriGirls are a group of women who support women on Periscope and off Periscope. I have relationships with the PeriGirl leaders and PeriGirls in more than just this. You know, my running group, we always say beyond the pavement, we are beyond Periscope. This is a movement. Thank you, Go Rice Girl, Joanne Pham, for what you are doing. You are bonding bookworms. We unite. And so we're going to finish this. We're going to read part 2. So you're going to dive in and we're going to finish part 2. And we're going to see how this journey ends for our dear friend, Santiago. And we know that it's not the end. It's only the beginning. Yeah. You say I do it all. Hey, I have to do that. Okay. She says, I love the quote. This wasn't a strange place. It's a new one. Ooh. We still got a couple of minutes. Girl, that was good. How many times have we thought we were in a strange place? Remember how Santiago, it was his mindset. I think I Am Ebony said something about your mindset. He was talking about, this isn't a strange place. It's just a new place. It's a place I've never been before. And I just got to make this work the way I need to make it work. I love Santiago's attitude because he's just making it work. He's making it do what it do. And I'm just like, wow. I love that one. You have your students read it every year? I think we all should read this book every year. I believe it's in iTunes and there is one. Mindset is the beginning of all things. Heart leads to follow through. That's kind of deep, man. We judge and we miss out and we misjudge. So if you've got that person in your life that's telling you the truth, really, really listen to him. I don't know who this is for today. Listen to that person because he may be like that owner of that bar. He may be looking out for your good. It may not be all warm and fuzzy and make you feel all good inside, but it may be just what you need to hear. It may be for your good. Use those discernment. Use those rocks in your pocket. Protect that oil. Too many of us abandon our dreams and life gets stale. That's the quote we talked about before the internet connection went down. Yeah. How people are in our life. We see people all the time and they're in our life. And then after they're in our life, we want them to change. Right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for sharing. Hey, do you have any questions for me before we shut this down? This has been an amazing discussion. And I promise you, I've read this book 3 times. And when I closed the book today, when I closed part 1, it just, I couldn't move. I can't move. You can find me. My website is actually on my, I'm at Dr. Benedria Smith, but it's inspiredbyb.com. Can somebody type that for me? Because somebody asked, how can they find me? You can find me at inspiredbyb.com. And you can also find me on the PeriGirls page. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please continue to swipe up. Share this with your followers. Talk about the book club. That's how you went with this book. It makes you think. It makes you think. Oh my God. It just opens up my thinking. Because this last sentence is profound. We don't know which way he's going. We don't know which way he's going. Emilia says, the problem is that they don't realize that they're walking a new road every day. Sheep. Dr. Sam, and what did they say about those sheep? Something the sheep don't do. They ain't worried. They ain't worried about a thing. The older we get and read this, we see a different lens. a different lens. Yes, Dr. Sam, all they think about is food and water. And what is that? Necessities, what you need. All they think about is food and water. And they trust the person. They know who to trust. Remember the part where they said the sheep always play with the kids? They know the kids have good spirits. The sheep know who to mess with. The sheep know who to follow. The sheep use their instinct. They use their innate homing instincts. We need to learn to trust ours, because that's how you protect your oil. It's already been given to you. It's already been given to you. You always hang with the kids. Hey, my grandma always said, if a kid don't come to them, don't fool with them. That means something wrong with them. Don't fool with them. If a kid don't come to you, that means something wrong with you. Your spirit ain't right. Kids and the animals. Thank you guys. You guys are super fantastic, amazing. I just want to thank you for joining in with me. Please feel free to watch this replay. Share it with your followers. We do have a blab in 15 minutes with Jenny Q. PeriGirls is having a blab. You can jump on there and talk about it there too. I watch to see how my Otis react to people. This is what you needed for today. Thank you. I'm glad we could help. And guys, I'm glad that we found ways that we're all alike. And so this week, what we're going to do is we're going to stop going through the same things, but we're never going to stop protecting our oil. This is the law of action. We are people of action. I'm just quoting you guys. We rather ask you for forgiveness than permission. We are going to make it do what it do. I'm like you, DJ. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission, because when you move, stuff happens just like that. And it's for your favor. It said that it's in your favor. It didn't say it's against you. It's in your favor. Just because unfavorable things happen along the journey, it doesn't mean that the end result is not in your favor. So you ladies, you read part 2. We are going to finish up this journey. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your sharing with me. Oh, thank you. I like that. For the greatest of all concerned. So when we want something, guys, remember, the universe conspires to help us. Don't turn away the help. Sometimes the help is an experience. Sometimes the help is an experience. Don't go through an experience without an experience. And Amelia, I just love your energy, guys. I love all of you. You guys have been just awesome, amazing. And this story is just touching me on so many levels. But I know today that I have an obligation, and I have an obligation to realize my destiny. And I pray that you realize your destiny. You know what it is. It's what's inside of you. It's what's burning. Somebody said it's like a burning fire. That burning fire that's inside of you. Trust it and move. Don't wait. Act. And with that said, you guys have a wonderful afternoon. This is B. Smith signing off for the PeriGirls Book Club. See you guys next week. Bye. And don't forget to join that blab. That's right. Trust and move. Don't wait. Act. You're going to keep it powerful, man. I want to know what y'all did next week. You better tell me. Take care, everybody. It's been a blast.